Is het zo te horen? Ja. Ja, dan laat ik hem aan. Stop ik hem in mijn broekzak. Dat is wel zo makkelijk, ik hoor mijn eigen echo. Ik zal er proberen rekening mee te houden. And I switch over in English because on live feed we have people all over the world that are also attending this session today. So please be very welcome today. Distinguished guests here in Sittard, who doesn't know Sittard, and elsewhere in the world, because we know in Germany, in Belgium, Portugal, Spain, and somewhere in Asia, Cedric, where are you in Asia, is attending our session today. So please be welcome. Patrick, Jacques, myself, and all our team members are very honored and pleased that you chose to attend our seminar on circular economy and IT. Mathieu, I have an echo, and maybe you could reduce that one. Yeah. Please let me introduce ourselves, for those who might not know us already. My name is Frans Bekkers. Looking back, one could say I am active in the circular economy for the last 20 years, now offering strategy, concepts, real products, operations and IT. In 2014, I met Patrick van Erp and Jacques Vrome, who have been active as IT entrepreneurs in the last 30 years, and then in 2014 just started Pontus. Early 2015, we jointly developed our first application, Caspar, which will also be demonstrated today, and then decided to join our forces on IT and circular concepts in Selmar, covering all aspects of a circular model. Now, in 2018, our team is with more than 40 colleagues. Next to that, we have a lot of partners connected in our network, and every semester a group of at least 10 interns is cracking its brains on specific assignments in the variety of domains our group is covering. Sometimes we call ourselves the Next Generation Coalition, occasionally referring to ourselves, this could be with the grim. But looking at our colleagues, we seriously give content to this concept, working with next generation team members, working on next generation topics, working with next generation tools, and working in a next generation setting, non-corporate, but with the ability to offer corporate solutions. Today, together with you, we would like to dive into the world of the circular economy and IT. Where and how could IT accelerate the necessary concept of the circular economy? Looking at this afternoon, we hope to offer you a balanced program, and we accept that all of us will be challenged. We expect that all of ourselves will be challenged. Yeah. We are very pleased that our partners directly confirmed to share their experience in the circular economy and the supporting SERMA applications with us this afternoon. After the keynote speech by Vincent and Ruud, Mitch and I will give a broad overview over the SERMA applications, after which we will have a coffee break. Then our partners will share their quests and solutions. Please enjoy this afternoon, and please be invited to the network and discuss your experiences afterwards. Thank you very much. To start with, let me introduce our keynote speakers. It's with a great pleasure to introduce our keynote speakers. Patrick, Jacques and I decided to give the floor to the next generation in our team, colleagues who really represent what we try to stand for and who add next generation elements to our concepts and solutions. Both Vincent and Ruud are already connected to our business as from the beginning, when they still combined university and our challenges. Ruud acquired masters in data management and IT management at Tilburg University. In our team, he is specifically focusing at data science and new IT developments and applications for a variety of customers, but also supporting interns and new colleagues. As lifelong learning is one of our mottos, Ruud will soon start his PhD, Holistic Process Mining. Wow. Vincent has a Master in Global Development at Utrecht University and is the 2018 Partners Award winner for the best idea for development innovation, where he combines the concept of a circular economy with his passion for Africa, for which he, amongst others, developed a blockchain concept for small landowners. Frank, nice that you're here. We ask Ruud and Vincent to guide us through the combined world of IT and the circular economy. Gentlemen, please challenge us.
So we hope the echo doesn't disturb you too much, but we need it for our live audience. Now it's on. Right, okay. I hope the echo is not too disturbing, but we'll just try it with. If it really doesn't work, then just let us know. Welcome. Okay, I have to stand within this line. A very warm welcome to all of you. Welcome at our Circularity Campus. Frans.
I would like to have the echo off. Rather have the echo off and the mic off, and then speak very loud so that you can hear it in the other way for the live audience. Because otherwise, it's not to understand, but for the rest.
Yeah. All right. Our IT expert in the room. Okay. All right. Let me just start. We won't keep you waiting too long. So welcome again at our Circularity Campus. Frans, thank you for the very elaborate introduction. So I won't have to do this introduction any further, but still. My name is Vincent Oberhof. This is Ruud van Kruchten. And today we would like to introduce you with our keynote to the role that IT should play or could play in the transition towards the circular economy. And we hope that this atmosphere of our building, a former primary school, can inspire you to let your inner child out a little bit and to be a little bit more creative and a little bit more critical, as only children can really do this for the coming hours during our seminar. But before we get into the content, we would very much like to get to know the people in the room a little bit more. So we prepared a little quiz to immediately get you into action. So please take out your phones. It's allowed for the first 15 minutes. Or get your phones. And please go to this link, so www.kahoot.it. And then you will find a screen where you can enter a PIN code. And this is the PIN code you can enter. Ga maar naar de Kahoot, Ruud. So www.kahoot.it. Ja, die komt eraan. All right. 17, 19. Please keep your nicknames appropriate. That's always nice. Carry on. Okay. So 10 more seconds, 50 more seconds. Everybody is logged into the application.
Some people ask for the Wi-Fi code.
The Wi-Fi code. Okay. Yeah, I think there's people in the room that can provide you with the Wi-Fi code. So if you need that, call in. Please go ahead. All right. Shall we start with the first question? 10 more seconds. 5 more seconds.
Everybody who wants to participate has logged in? I think so.
So what we'd like to do is consciously put you on the spot a little bit, give you some black and white dilemmas that are not really actually that black and white. Yeah. But in real life, you also have to make these decisions day by day. So we think we can trust this to you. So the first question, the world changes through revolution or to evolution? What do you think? Does our world change through revolution, big rapid changes, or to evolution? 3 more seconds. Ooh, a very close call. Good.
Who voted for revolution and would like to elaborate?
Yes, please.
We don't have time. You don't have time. Okay. Somebody who wants to speak against that, who voted evolution, who says we have enough time.
Who was an evolution voter? Hands, please.
Who would like to elaborate on their choice for evolution? Yes, please.
Evolution doesn't need to be slow, and it might be more sustainable and disseminate better than revolution is sometimes a quick win, but also with peaking too early.
Yeah, great nonsense.
All right, all right. We'll get back into that later on.
Sustainability problems will be solved by people or technology.
So who will ultimately solve this problem? These problems. One more second.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's more clear. Okay, so let's start with the minority who voted technology and would like to say something about that.
Yes, I believe we have a technology voter right here. Would you like to? That was a mistake. Okay. That happens, and we have to shift. I think right behind you is someone who voted technology.
One word, the word ultimately.
Yeah.
Ultimately change by technology.
Yeah.
Because you use that word, I think I choose for
Right. But at the same time, I also hear you say that people need to start this change. All right, all right, all right. People are bigger than technology, okay. So you don't really believe in this development that at some point technology will take over the decisions we make as people. Okay, but a potential reality to some. All right. Sorry, please, could you repeat this? Technology will reduce the threshold for the majority. The threshold to what exactly? To sustainability, okay. So technology can take away certain boundaries for people to make sustainable decisions, maybe that's what you're saying. All right, all right.
Okay.
Question 3, which is more important, long-term vision or short-term solutions? I think this is the easiest one, huh? 10 seconds. Don't worry, he is in the presentation, don't worry.
He's joining the web version, we hope.
Ooh,
Okay.
this is a big.
It's very,
All right.
very clear.
I guess we should start with someone who voted in the majority, a long-term vision. Why is long-term vision more important? Somebody who voted long-term vision, I think almost everyone.
long-term vision will lead to short-term solutions.
Okay, that's an interesting
Okay.
quote. Anyone from the 6 people?
Yeah, I'm not sure with that. I'm one of the 6, but I don't believe that every long-time vision will lead to solutions. So at the end, the solution is the solver of the problem.
All right, okay.
Because all of the voters for long-term visions, do you believe that they will create also solutions in the short term, or that you will stay in the discussion on long-term visions?
I think we have a big.
If long-term visions are being supported by people who have money, then probably the short-term solutions will come fast enough. In other words, if Shell invests more enough in, for instance, waterstof, or I don't know the
Hydrogen, yeah.
hydrogen, then probably that will already be on the market today, but
Yeah.
they have no incentive, commercial incentive to do it, so it's not there
Yeah, so you say incentive is the most, the biggest argument for short-term solutions.
Or maybe even the connector, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the important, that the long-term vision is within governments, because they can steer the commercial parties in the world.
Yeah.
All right. I know, by coincidence, that we have a big appropriator of short-term solutions sitting right here. What did you vote?
Long-term vision.
Ah, okay. Okay, then there's no question. All right. All right.
Okay.
And our last question. I define myself mostly as a thinker or a doer. Are you a thinker or a doer? You can't be both. You're either one of the two.
A bit personal question, but let's see what the answers
5
are.
seconds. Last seconds. Ooh.
So,
All right.
a lot of doers in the
Yes,
in
a
the
lot
room.
of doers in the room.
That's good.
We'll keep that in mind for the rest
Yeah.
of our keynote.
I'll switch back to the presentation.
Very good. So doers
you can
instead of thinkers.
walk out.
Yeah, exactly.
That's allowed.
Yeah. We just continue with the thinkers. All right.
We're not done yet with the pop quiz. One last question. If you know the answer, please don't say it to your neighbor. But who of you knows who this man is?
Only one hand.
Only one hand. Could you raise your hand if you know who this guy is?
1.5 hands. I see 1.5 hands.
If I give you the hint that I think 1 in 3 people, maybe even more, have his work on him right now. Do you know who it is now?
Okay. Not so many more hands. All right.
Yeah. And if you show you the complete image, do you recognize him now? The guy on the right is Steve Wozniak, one of the co-founders of Apple. To the left is Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, of course, is very known for his visionary work and change of the market. Steve Wozniak, however, is less known, as we all proved today. But Steve, actually, Wozniak, was the engineer that built all the visions that Steve Jobs had. So it's nice to, it's the metaphor that we want to give you today as well, that the thinker and the doer, the combination of them, is very important, but that often the thinker is the one that gets the most attention. Steve also had some thoughts on the thinker-doer relationship himself. So we'll just show you a very short clip on an interview he did back in the 70s. If you put on the mic.
This one. And but I've been in it now for about 15 years, and I've seen a lot of people make a lot of things. I've seen a lot of people fail a lot of things. And my point of view on this, or my observation, is that the doers are the major thinkers. The people that really create the things that change this industry are both the thinker-doer in one person. And if we really go back and we examine, did Leonardo have a guy off to the side that was thinking 5 years out in the future what he would paint or the technology he would use to paint it? Of course not. Leonardo was the artist, but he also mixed all his own paints. He also was a fairly good chemist, knew about pigments, knew about human anatomy, and combining all of those skills together, the art and the science, the thinking and the doing, was what resulted in the exceptional result. And there is no difference in our industry. The people that have really made the contributions have been the thinkers and the doers. And a lot of people, of course, it's very easy to take credit for the thinking. The doing is more concrete, but it's very easy for somebody to say, oh, I thought of this 3 years ago. But usually when you dig a little deeper, you find that the people that really did it were also the people that really worked through the hard intellectual problems as well.
Okay, so if you think back to the last sentence that Steve said, it's that the people who actually did it often work through the hard intellectual problems as well. So they become the thinker and the doer in one. And this is also something that we want to discuss with you today in terms of the thinking and the doing in circular economy and IT. Is IT the holy grail, and will it cause a revolution or evolution towards a circular economy? And can IT be regarded as the thinker, the doer, or is it both in this metaphor?
Right. So before we go into depth on the role of IT in circular economy, let's take a step back and to look into the context a little bit, the context of why we need to realize the circular economy. And I think for me the context is threefold. We have a challenge, some major potential stemming from this challenge, and of course looking into the solutions. Okay, it wouldn't be nice if the pointer worked also, but if it has me. The challenge obviously is a donut. Not actually this donut, but this donut. It's Kate Raworth's donut economy model, and I think it's a very nice illustration of the situation that we are currently in as a world. And her model is very simple. She claims that if we want to keep a safe and just space for humanity, and if we want to maintain this, then we have to do two things. We have to remain below a certain ecological ceiling, for example, looking at issues like climate change, while at the same time guaranteeing a certain social foundation, basically providing energy for all, food security, but also issues like social justice. So our challenge is very much a donut. At the same time, there is another element or another part of this challenge which is more geopolitical. Everybody knows these three people. I promised you that Donald Trump would be back later in the presentation. Well, here he is. We are currently in a geopolitical reality in which protectionism is on the rise, especially with these people, Donald Trump's United States, Vladimir Putin's Russia, and Xi Jinping's China. And actually we, as Europe, we are in the middle of the situation. And what is our major risk or our major challenge geopolitically is that in the midst of these three people and the continents they represent, we are the only ones that do not have their own fossil fuel reserves. So if we do not want to become depending on these three people and their protectionist ideas, then we have to think of different solutions. And urban mining might be the solution that we are looking for. And of course, the challenge very much is also a systems change, a systematic challenge. So how can we redesign an economy? And how can we move from a linear economy in which we have a classic take, make, waste system that is clearly not working towards a more circular concept in which materials and resources are constantly looped into feedback loop and into supply cycles. The potential, there is always a potential in a challenge, in a problem. And I think the economic potential of the circular economy has already been proven very omnipresent. On a European level, McKinsey did a very good baseline study already in 2012 where it showed that the net economic potential of the circular economy adds up to about 500 billion annually. And TNO a year later recalculated this for the Dutch impact, and it showed that we could have a 7.3 billion added value, €1 billion added value impact in Europe only, which would, in the Netherlands actually, sorry, in the Netherlands, and which would add up to 54,000 new jobs in our economy. So economic potential, potential for economic growth in the circular economy is very clear, I believe. There's also another type of potential, a more an opportunity, I would say, to redesign our economy and to move from whatever type of economy it is that we have into a more social economy. An economy that we can design ourselves in which there is a place for people with all types of backgrounds, where there is potential for people with all different types of skill sets to have a place in this, and to combine really high-tech with handwork. So creating a high-tech economy, but still a social high-tech economy, I would say. And then from the potential to the solution, we believe the solution is very simple. The circular economy and developing circular systems and circular products. But of course, it's not really that simple. But we have to start today. We have to start today by developing circular systems step by step. And IT, we believe, and that's also the topic, of course, of our keynote and our program today, IT can play a very interesting, important role in this. But what exactly is the role of IT? How can it help us to redesign this economy? And especially, what choices do we make in the role of IT? Because choosing the impact that IT has or the role that it plays in the circular economy, it's a matter of making choices. So how can we impact the circular transition by implementing IT, by implementing technology? And in the remainder of This keynote, we would like to provide you with some perspective, some ideas, not necessarily truths, but potential opportunities in the 4 segments as we define them of the circular model, and look what role IT could or should play.
Yes. So if we look at the first step in the circular economy, that's product design. How could IT play a role in circular product design? Well, if you think very futuristically, but the technology is actually already here, you could create a sort of social system like in China, where we embed chips in our products, and the MA safety shoe, for example, and we can track and trace if people bring back their shoes to the appropriate discharge place, or that they just throw them in the trash. We can then see who did it belong to, and create a sort of penalty system where we give fines to people to really enforce circular transitions. Or we could be very practical. We could use the same technology. We have already had today to create a sort of material passport in which you can scan the material. When the product comes back, you know where did it come from, what does it exist of, and how can we reuse it. So you already think of those applications beforehand during the design of your product, and just makes life easier when it comes back to identify. Second one is reverse logistics. The problem we face is that everything in our world, all systems in our world regarding logistics are focused on moving from point A to point B. The other way around is less easy. So we could wait on a world like this, where we have self-driving cars, for example, that solve all of our logistic problems. Probably they will exist someday, but not yet. So at this very moment, if you want to really start organizing our reverse logistics, we need a system that just helps us administrating, tracking and tracing, organizing our reverse logistics. But it's a basic application that exists next to your existing systems, and you can just do the daily operations and manage them.
In the third element of the circular system, refurbishing and recycling, again, it's about making choices. We could make the choice to, by using robotics, automate as much of the process processes in our economy as possible. But is this a choice we'd like to make? Is this an economy we'd like to see? Or do we prefer an economy, again, that is more social, that creates room for both high-tech as well as handwork, in enabling people to add value on their own level and with their own skill set? Both flavors, I would like to say, are possible, but it's up to us to make a choice which one of the two we want. And the same thing in the materials bank, I believe there's also a choice to be made. For example, looking at blockchain technology, we are on our way now, I think almost 10 years since its invention. Everybody's calling it extremely disruptive and innovative, but still there's not a lot of very good solid applications of the technology to date. So are we going to wait until blockchain really is going to provide the solution? Or do we do something different? Do we research the technology and take out the elements that are already valuable and are already functioning, and do we add them to an application that can already function to date, like we did with Zuid Hogeschool in our project? I'm not sure. Don't recognize them immediately. All right.
Yeah, so IT, we think, can be both the enabler and the accelerator of the transition towards a circular economy. And what we like to share today as well is some experience that we have in day-to-day building of these IT applications. So yeah, first of all, if we see IT as an enabler, and this is coming from an IT guy, IT is not the holy grail. It does not solve every problem, and it will not create the transition towards a circular economy. But what it does is it moves the whole discussion from a philosophical one to a realistic one. It forces you to become really concrete of your goals. If you ever witnessed or experienced the development of an IT application, you know that the IT guys want a very specific list of functions that you want the application to do. So if you want to develop a system concrete in thinking about how does my business model work, how do my processes work, and how can circularity be incorporated in that. Yeah, and as end result, it creates very tangible tools with which you can start enacting the transition. And we made progress very measurable. IT systems generate data, which you can analyze and improve and communicate to your stakeholders. And very important, that also links to the acceleration function of IT in this thing, the transition, is that we develop these IT systems based on a common philosophy, a common language, so to say. So we built them now for microsystems, for one business, but based on that same philosophy, we can easily scale them up to whole macrosystems between companies and between countries. So that makes the acceleration also very powerful. So IT is an accelerator. We all know that technology is increasingly important in our daily lives. But what it also does to markets is very interesting. If you look at the taxi market in New York City, it didn't only increase or change the way people hail a cab, but it also increased the total market of taxi drives. So it didn't replace, but it improved. Again, Alibaba, I don't know if you saw this newspaper, the 11th November, it was single day in China, and Alibaba generated a record revenue of 31 billion in just one day. And if we didn't have technology, that wasn't possible, never. Also, just the rise of electronic shopping is increasing ever more and ever faster. And if we look at markets like advertisement, we all have the idea that, okay, advertisement changed from traditional media to online media. So we would expect that the revenue would just be shifted towards a new medium. But what it actually did is increase the whole revenue by 50% of the entire market. So you generate more revenue. So what's the common thing you see in all these graphs is really exponential growth. And IT can do that to a market, but can also do that in the transition towards a circular economy.
So what we try to do in this very brief keynote is we try to show you some alternative perspectives on the role of IT and the role that IT could play in the transition towards a circular economy, and also the choices that we can and we have to make in what this role will be and what this role can be. We also try to trigger you and to invite you to think about this thinker-doer binary and to see how can I apply this to my own context, to my person, to my company, to me and my colleagues, my team, and ultimately to realizing your ambitions, the ambitions that we all have in growing and enabling this circular economy. So the technology is ready, as you can see. The next move is very much up to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Are there still any questions for these two guys? Yes. Just 25 or 30 minutes, but a lot came more different opinions as well. We also have an example of IT acceleration sustainable. Yeah, I think because this was the example you showed us are not really.
So acceleration occurs also through volume, and we're all here today indeed to experience what IT can do, but reality is that not a lot of people actually are working on the transition towards circular economy. So no, we don't have examples of acceleration through IT in terms of market growth, but it was just to trigger you in the idea that if we use IT, this can certainly happen.
But with your question, you get to the essence of this afternoon.
Yeah.
What we would like to show you this afternoon that we really need IT to accelerate the circular economy, because we need volume to have a competitive business proposal. We need to speak the same language, and in terms of specification, things like that. We will come on that as well. And you need IT to support that, to really accelerate this transition.
Yeah.
Maybe I have an example, because I had a discussion just before this event. I have some solar panels on my house, and IT can deliberately involve me on what usage or the machine is broken. So the acceleration is already going on because a lot of same kind of IT is being deployed to see if something is broken and then we can repair it. So the product can be used longer and longer because we are earlier in seeing that something is broken. But then are small examples, it's just
Reuse of technology.
All right.
Other question or remarks? Yes, please.
When you showed us the example of Alibaba,
Yeah.
I was wondering, we have traveled around also quite some years. So what would you say that is needed to make mind shift? Because Alibaba is exploding. It's not in the direction that we want to shift. So what kind of mechanisms can you learn from reuse practices still now that you see of value to go in the direction of the circular economy?
Yeah, good question. I agree that Alibaba, in terms of consumerism, is not the best example that we want to express today. If Vince, you want to help me out?
Yeah, of course. No, I think my answer would have two pillars. The one is that, of course, it's not only needed to